Fox 12's Drew Marine is live with what the OLCC is doing to make sure apps like DoorDash and Uber Eats get alcohol into the right hands. Drew?
The main goal behind House Bill 3308 is to keep alcohol away from minors and delivery recipients who are visibly drunk. This law will require companies to have a special permit and have their delivery people undergo specific training before delivering alcohol. Since the pandemic began, alcohol delivery has become commonplace. But now the Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Commission is cracking down on third-party delivery apps like DoorDash and Uber Eats, requiring them to get a new permit at the start of 2024. It's called the Third-Party Facilitator Permit. The goal is to make sure these apps are following OLCC regulations when it comes to selling and delivering alcohol, training their delivery people to check IDs to make sure customers are 21 and ensure the recipient isn't noticeably intoxicated. In a press release, the OLCC says before this oversight, apps could, quote, leave alcoholic beverages on doorsteps without confirming that the order was received by an adult 21 years or older or that the delivery recipient wasn't visibly intoxicated. Companies will be allowed to manage the training program, but they'll need to get it reviewed and approved by the OLCC for $250. The OLCC says this shouldn't be an issue because some companies already follow regulations like this in other states where they operate. DoorDash sent us a statement about the new requirements, saying in part, quote, we're deeply committed to responsible alcohol delivery, and that's why we've put in place robust and industry-leading safety features. We look forward to working alongside regulators to ensure alcohol delivery in Oregon remains a safe option. The OLCC says this law won't apply to restaurants that have their off-premises sales license. Live in Beaverton, Drew Marine, Fox 12 Oregon.